Good morning, LPES. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope that you've all had an enjoyable house week. This was the first time we ever did this. And I have to say, I really liked it. I liked us starting off our mornings with some announcements from students. I liked us all wearing different colors to kind of represent the different houses. And that is really going to be the main focus of today's Friday Feeling, talking about these different houses that we have and what it really means and why we have them in the first place. So I thought, what better place to start than right here at our school crest. So you can see up here, you might have never even really taken a moment to kind of look at it, but what you can see here is each one of these sections represents a different animal house. So it stands for the 5 houses that we have here. And the reason I wanted to kind of start today's Friday Feeling, this isn't working, the reason I wanted to start today's Friday Feeling in front of our crest is because in 4th grade, we do a lesson. I come into your classroom, sometimes with Miss Nazaro, and we talk about identity. And we talk about culture, our own cultures, like 3rd grade, you're doing your culture day too, so you're probably talking a lot about this. So culture can be different traditions that we have. It might be the places our family comes from. It might be different foods that we eat as a family, maybe the language you speak at home, maybe the religion you celebrate or the holidays you celebrate. Culture can be so many different things all kind of wrapped up into one. And here at LPES, we have culture as well. And part of our school culture is our 5 houses. And what that does is it kind of unites all of us in this thing, in these houses, and it gives us a sense of pride, it gives us a sense of community where we're with other people. So I wanted to take a moment today just to kind of acknowledge how often around our school we have our 5 houses pop up. And the more you think about it, the more you're going to see that they're really all over the place. So we have our school crest that we were just at with our 5 different houses. If we go out front, you're going to hopefully be able to see we have our paw print that leads into the school building. Hold on, we're going to sneak outside for a moment here. So a little faded just because we step on it every day to come inside. But you can see our paw print here that represents our panther mascot. And it has each one of the pads of the paw is a different color for each of our 5 houses. Then if we go into the main office, you're going to see that we have our red ticket houses. And on each of those red ticket houses, as you see every month during our Panther Prides, we have our different house representations. We have our arthropods, of course, birds, fish, mammals, and reptiles. And you're going to notice, again, each and every one of those has its own color, has its own animal picture that kind of represents that house. But it's not just even there. We have things all over the place. Luckily, Mrs. Moore over the years has done a lot of different things to represent our houses. She's the one that drew our beautiful crest. And then we have over by the cafeteria, we'll be there in a moment, we have all of those awesome pictures and decorations with our various house things. We also have our heart that we did at the beginning of the year with the 5 colors of our houses. And then this is the last one I could really think of for right now, though I'm sure there's more around here. This is one of my favorite ones. So nice and quiet here still. We have our wall of 5 houses. I love this one. I just think it's so nice and colorful and beautiful. So thank you, Mrs. Moore, for doing all those. The reason I want to take you on this walk today and to talk to you about these houses is because as we celebrate House Week, what we're really doing is we are honoring our school culture and climate. We are honoring what it means to be a part of LPES, what it means to be in our individual houses, what it means to be a community together. And as members of a community, there are certain responsibilities that we have. When we're a member of a community, it's our responsibility to help others in that community. When we're a member of a community, it's our responsibility to be respectful to others in that same community or even outside of it. When we are in the same community, it's our responsibility to work together, to not work against one another, to not try to drag other people down. And so, my lights are off still in here, hold on. All right. And so this week was really a chance for us to kind of celebrate those things that maybe make us different because we're in the mammal house or the bird house or the fish house, reptiles, arthropods, but also the things that make us the same. We are all members of LPES. We are all members of one of our 5 houses. So I wanted to take today's Friday feeling to talk about that sense of community, to talk about our school culture and how important it is for us to have those things that unite us, like our Panther Pride meetings, for us to have our 5 houses, for us to have traditions that we do every year that make our school, that make us different from other places that you might go. So I hope, as we're talking about this, you get a little bit more of a sense of pride, like Panther Pride. You get a sense of pride about LPES, about our 5 houses, and about being a part of whichever house you're in this year. Now, from year to year, it does change. So next year, you might be in a totally different house, and that's okay. We can get excited about being in a new house, too, come September. Today, since our houses are represented by those 5 colors, and by those 5 colors, and since those 5 colors really make up a giant part of the rainbow, I have my little fidget guy here, my little poppet. We don't have a purple house, but we have red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. So since they make up so much of the rainbow, I thought that today's activities could kind of be based on rainbow stuff. So give me just 1 minute to get set, and then we're going to do some rainbow activities together. So the first rainbow activity we're going to do today is we are going to do some rainbow breathing. You're going to see an example up on the screen in a moment. It moves a little bit quicker than I would like, but that's okay. You are going to trace up over the rainbow arch, and when you reach the center, you're going to start breathing out. So when you trace up, you breathe in. When you trace down, you breathe out. Nice and simple. Now think of a rainbow. The inner arches are smaller, so our indigo, our purple, indigo, blue, those are a little bit smaller. As we get to the bigger ones on the outside, that's when our breaths are going to get longer. I invite you to also trace actually in front of you. It's going to help kind of get that feeling into our bodies, really making us aware of how long and how slow our breaths are as we go. So we can go ahead and do that. But before I even start this, let's make sure we are sitting up nice and tall. Our backs should be straight up, almost like you're sitting against a wall, okay, even if you're not. So your back is straight up. And remember, as always, we are breathing deep into our bellies. We're not breathing up into our shoulders. Even if the breath is quick for some of these rainbow breaths, we're breathing nice and slow, down and low, down into our bellies, expanding our belly, out, expanding our side, expanding our back to really make room for all of that air. Take your hands, place them either on your knees, on your desk, on your lap, wherever you'd like. And let's go ahead and get ready. Here we go. Okay, so rainbow breaths. We trace an imaginary rainbow in the air, so you can actually trace it starting with violet. And we're going to breathe in as we trace up. When we reach the middle, we trace down and breathe out. Ready? Here we go. So breathe in and out. Quick ones at first, right? Next up is indigo. Breathe in and out. Next up, we have blue. Next is green. Then we move to yellow. Breathe in and out. I like how it's slowed down a little bit now. They're going to be slightly longer for these last 2. Then we have orange. and out. And our last one, slowest and biggest one of all, we breathe in for red and out. All right, nice job getting our breath going this morning. Remember, the more we take deep breaths, the more we practice that, the calmer our brain is, the slower our heart is, and the better decisions we're able to make. I was talking with a girl earlier this week, one of our students, and she'd been out on the playground and had gotten in a fight with a friend and had made a not great choice and pushed someone. And as we were talking about this decision, I said, what else could we have done in that moment? And she honestly didn't know. She didn't really think about what we could do instead of taking that anger or frustration and putting it into our hands or putting it into our feet to hurt another person. Sometimes we need to keep repeating these things over and over. I know sometimes I feel like a broken record. I'm saying the same things to you guys, but it's so important for us to keep hearing that we can have control over our emotions. We can have control. I shouldn't say we can have control over our emotions. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes they come on and we can't stop them. But we do have control over what we do with those emotions. So if we're feeling anger, frustration, sadness, confusion, if we're feeling jealousy, it's a big one that we don't always talk about. If we're feeling jealous of another person for a toy that they have or because they're playing with our friend, we still have a choice as to what we do with those emotions. And one way we have an even bigger choice of what to do is by making sure that we are taking deep breaths, that we're giving ourselves a break, that we're paying attention to the clues that our body is giving us. If we feel ourselves making fists and getting really hot and our heart pounding, it's possible we're going to make a bad decision in a moment. So we need to take a minute to kind of relax ourselves before we do something that then we regret. So that's why we practice things like rainbow breathing, so that we can hopefully use those skills to get along with each other even better when we're out at recess, or even when we're home with our brothers or sisters, moms or dads, when we're in the classroom and we're doing something that's really tough like taking a test. These skills can be used everywhere to try and help you calm down. Even just this morning, I was sitting in traffic on my way to school and I started to feel myself getting frustrated and angry. And I said, Mrs. Heffler, you need to do exactly what you tell the kids to do. You need to take some deep breaths and calm down. This isn't a big deal. So that's why we do those things. I'm going to pass the camera over to Miss Mazzaro for a moment, and she's going to do another rainbow activity with you that can also be used to kind of help settle ourselves when we're feeling those big, uncomfortable emotions.
Hello LPES. Today I'm going to be leading you through a rainbow meditation. So first, everyone get comfortable, close your eyes and relax. Or if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, maybe focus on one spot in the room, the wall, your desk, or the floor. Take a deep breath in through your nose and breathe it out slowly through your mouth. Now just breathe normally and relax. I want you to imagine in your head that you're floating on a cloud. Imagine that cloud taking you up, up, up in the sky until you find a rainbow. Imagine a big, beautiful rainbow in front of you. See all of its colors. Feel all of its colors. Imagine the color red is glowing brighter than the rest. There is red all around you. Breathe in the color red and think to yourself, I am safe. And say to yourself, I feel safe. Now imagine the color orange is brighter. And orange is all around you. Breathe in orange and think to yourself, I feel my feelings stirring in my body. Say to yourself, I feel peaceful. Next, imagine the color yellow is glowing brighter and is all around you. Breathe in yellow. Think to yourself, I am powerful. Say to yourself, I feel confident. Now, imagine the color green is glowing brighter and there is green all around you. Breathe in the color green. Think to yourself, my family and friends love me and I love them. Say to yourself, I feel loved. Now, Imagine the color blue is getting brighter and blue is all around you. Breathe in blue. Think to yourself, I have a great imagination. Say to yourself, I see great things happening for me. Now lastly, imagine the color purple is getting brighter and the color purple is all around you. Breathe in purple. Think to yourself, I am wise. Say to yourself, I am smart. Now the cloud floats you down gently all the way down and back to your desk. And remember, you can float to this rainbow anytime you need to. Take one last look at your big, bright, and beautiful rainbow. Notice if you see anything, or feel anything, or if you hear anything, or notice anything else. Now take a deep breath. Wiggle your toes. Take another deep breath and wiggle your fingers. Take one last deep breath and open your eyes when you're ready. Have a great day, Lincoln Park Elementary School.
Great. Hopefully we're feeling nice and calm and relaxed. I have one last thing I wanted to do with you today, and that is to read one of my favorite stories. I think it's a really great book, and it's especially nice for this week when we're talking about our 5 different houses, our 5 different colors, but also talking about how sometimes it's okay to mix. It's not okay. It's what we should do. We should honor each house. We should try to think about what it's like to be other people, to put ourselves in their shoes and to have empathy. This story is called Mixed, a colorful story by Arie Chung. And I love this book because it is all these different colors. It doesn't have green and it doesn't have orange, so I'm really sorry for our bird and our reptile house, but I think you'll be able to appreciate it anyway. Mixed, a colorful story. In the beginning, there were 3 colors: yellows, reds, and blues. Reds were the loudest. La, 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 la. Skipped a page. Oh no. Yellows were the brightest. And blues were the coolest. Everyone lived in color harmony until, you can see our primary colors all living together in their city, until one afternoon when a red said, "Reds are the best." The yellows disagreed. "No, we're the best because we're the brightest." The blues were too cool to even respond. The colors decided to live in separate parts of the city. So you can see we have Redville, we have Blue Town, and we have Yellow Heights. But then one day, a yellow noticed a blue, and something happened. "I feel so happy when I'm near you. And I feel calm when I'm with you." Yellow and blue became inseparable. Life felt so vibrant. But not all the colors were happy about it. "I don't like yellow's effect on blue. Colors shouldn't mix. That blue isn't bright enough for yellow." But yellow and blue loved each other so much, they decided to mix. And we have the wedding of yellow and blue. Now, let's make our art teacher proud. When yellow and blue mix together, it makes... Together, they created a new color. They named her green. Green was bright like yellow and calm like blue. But really, she was a color all her own. There you go, reptiles. So you did get mentioned in our book. All right, color green. Let's see, I think we might even get some oranges later. Everyone was fascinated. I've never seen anything like her before. She's so cute. Can I hold her? Even the grumpy colors fell in love with green. The colors began to see new possibilities. Soon, other colors mixed. There we go. So we have red and yellow making little baby orange. So we have our birdhouse represented. And mixed. And mixed. And mixed. So now we're seeing all different colors, all different shades, all different types of people. There were so many new colors and a lot of new names. Be careful, Jade. Don't forget your glasses, Lavender. Have fun, Amber. We see all the cute little kids going off to play, all those different colors. The old neighborhoods of Redville, Bluetown, and Yellow Heights didn't make sense anymore. Everyone wanted to live together, so they rebuilt the city. You could see them taking down the Redville sign, and the Bluetown sign, and the Yellow Heights sign is getting shipped away in a truck. The new city was full of color. It wasn't perfect, but it was home. And that, my friends, is the end of our story. And I love this because this is the back page of our book. And if I flip all the way back to the front, you're going to see in the beginning we just had those three colors. Looks cool, nice pattern. Blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow. But then on these pages, you can see that suddenly we have all these different colors and shades and different types of people, different types of dots that we've created. I thought that this book was perfect because not only does it kind of talk about our 5 house colors, right? And how we shouldn't just think of ourselves as a mammal or an arthropod, but we should really think of ourselves as a community, as all of us working together like the dots were at the end of the story when they kind of dismantled the town. They took down Redville, they took down Bluetown, they took down Yellow Heights, and instead they made a community where they all live. Now, of course, we still have our 5 houses here. We're not getting rid of our 5 houses. But I think this book does bring to mind not only a concept, an idea about our 5 houses and how we really should think of ourselves as community, but it also brings to mind how we should treat others who are different than us. How we shouldn't feel like we need to be separate from someone else because they look different than we do, because they speak differently than we do, because they come from a different place than us. How we can all mix together to create this wonderful, beautiful, exciting world that we have. And so that is our story of Mixed. I hope you enjoyed it because it is one of my favorite books, and I thought it was perfect for a week where we're talking about our rainbow colors, where we're talking about our 5 houses here at LPES. All right, my friends, it has been wonderful spending the morning together today. Next week, we don't have a Friday, so I'll have to see if we'll put out a Thursday. Trying to think. You guys always come up with some clever names for when they don't fall on Fridays, and yeah, I can never remember them. But we'll see if we put something out on Thursday. If not, I'll try and post one that you can always replay teachers from past years. My friends, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you're able to mix together to make our school day the best it can possibly be, and I will see you possibly next week. Stay kind, LPES.